Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Insider channel. I am the Crypto Insider coming at you from the Crypto Insider compound in Austin, Texas. We got a lot of news to talk about today. I'm not a financial planner, registered investment advisor, so you know the disclaimer. Do your own research, folks. What you're seeing before you on the screen is the donation we make for each new YouTube subscriber to the channel. That goes to Good XRP, and they donate our donation. They break it down into 9 different donations for some really good charities. So if you have the time, please go ahead and like and subscribe. All right, so as usual, I think the first thing we're going to talk about is price because that has been the shocker over the past few days. You know, we were in the rut for so long. It's very rare to see greens. Now it looks like we are down a little bit in the last hour. It looks like the U.S. market has woken up and decided they want to take some profits. And that's fine. That's the way it normally goes in these rallies. It goes up, and there's a pullback, and then it goes up again. It'll be interesting to see what happens throughout the evening and as the markets come online again, very late. The Asian markets I'm talking about, because that they seem to be more into the cryptocurrency than even the U.S. sometimes. Bitcoin dominance has actually fallen. We like to keep an eye on that. It's fallen over the past 2 days, uh, uh, about a percent and a half, maybe. Still not enough. I mean, we're still extremely tied to Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong here. I don't want to give anyone false hope of alts doing their own thing, but for the most part, you can see the weekly charts where we are following Bitcoin pretty closely. There's a little bit of difference in this peak than that peak, and sometimes there's a little lag in the response between the altcoins and Bitcoins, but for the most part, it's there. Of course, unless you look at Tether, it's just all over the place, and the further you get away, the further you get away from Bitcoin down the market cap list, the more variation you'll see in the charts there between the two. But right now we're standing at 0.232 cents. I shouldn't say that. 23.2 cents. um, so it's a lot better than 17 or 18 still. I'm not confident to say that we are now in the bull cycle. There are probably some in the charting community. We'd seen people predicting resistance levels of 22 cents, and certainly there was one, but we passed that. It looks like now we're struggling with about 24 cents. From what I've seen, I think we broke it yesterday briefly for a little while and then came back down. So we'll see if the next run up can take us past that 24-cent mark. So that's one to keep your eye on. Saw this article from News BTC, Joseph Young, 24 hours ago, and the title is "These Four Factors Suggest the Altcoin Crypto Market Rally is Only Just Beginning." The altcoin index perpetual futures broke out of a major resistance level in the past week, which may indicate that due to the strong momentum in the crypto market, major altcoins are in a prime position to sustain their upward movement. Now that's key because that's what we want to happen, of course. After breaking out of the resistance level the first time, it corrected to retest the level, consolidated, and cleanly broke out of the resistance level. These four factors, which can be considered as a complete cycle of bottoming out on a lower time frame, could act as a major catalyst for the altcoin market. Major crypto assets are seeing large gains. Within hours, the prices of major crypto assets in the likes of Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Litecoin, and EOS surged by anywhere in between 5 to 50%. Yeah, I think SV was up to 92% or something at one point. It was ridiculous. As reported by News BTC previously, the altcoin market due for a relief rally because it was significantly oversold at low levels. Yeah, we were certainly with XRP, we were seeing it oversold for a long time. putting downward pressure on the price and keeping us in that 18, 19-cent range. Of course, they're still urging caution. Altcoins could retrace in the short term in a steep pullback if the market reacts with lackluster buying demand at higher levels. As said by a prominent cryptocurrency trader, the breakout of Bitcoin to the mid 8,000 area was significantly weaker than its upsurge to 12,000. But Bitcoin often pulls back after a 30 to 40% move. If there is not enough demand to push Bitcoin to the 9,000s, and I think we're very close. We were just looking at the chart. What was it? Let's go back. 88. Yeah. So we've been at 88. We may have gotten over 9,000. I didn't look for that. Uh, if there's not enough demand to push Bitcoin to the 9,000, which many investors anticipated would happen the first time it broke out of 8,000 on January 8th, it may leave a dominant cryptocurrency vulnerable to a pullback. And of course, with the dominance, when Bitcoin pulls back, XRP pulls back. Now I'm seeing some of hype that I really don't like, and I'm going to cover it in this article here. Trump and Christine Lagarde, Brad Garlinghouse, they're all going to be at Davos 2020, the World Economic Forum. But in this article from XRP Ripple News from P. Nelson, there is a bit of hype in my opinion. Rather than have egg on the face, the Trump administration could announce a change to the dollar as the global standard, replacing it with something decentralized like XRP. I don't think that's going to happen at the summit. Um, Trump's probably going to try to push his agenda forward and talk about how great the economy is. That seems to be the standard speech that he gives. If he has any announcements, I don't think it's going to be replacing the U.S. dollar with something decentralized like XRP. It's not something that I think his base would take to him just flopping out there like that without building it up at a few rallies at least first. I definitely don't think that this is going to be the forum where Donald Trump announces that we're replacing the dollar with XRP. But it goes on to say that is simply wild speculation on our behalf. One thing is certain, if the current administration doesn't act fast, the dollars will be placed anyways as rivals hold far more gold. When the next financial downturn happens, some say it is only weeks away, the biggest holders of gold and those who embrace digital assets will emerge victorious. The safer assets. And, if you're new to cryptocurrency, it's probably blowing your mind that I'm calling cryptocurrency a safer asset. But and if you are new, just do any search on Google for bank scandal and look at all the big names and look at all the scandals and look at all the problems that exist with the people that we decide should safeguard our money and our assets. If you don't think blockchain technology is safer, after seeing just the endless amount of Google results all over the world on the scandals, then I don't know what to tell you. Just wanted to sort of bust that. Now, I could be wrong. If he announces that XRP is going to replace the US dollar, no one will be more thrilled than me. But, the immediate pain that would cause is just ridiculous. Okay, it's January 15th, so we know that the XRP lawsuit is being heard, or there are some arguments being heard by the Honorable Judge Phyllis Hamilton today, and we have some quotes by Brad Garlinghouse. He doesn't mince words when it comes to this issue. This article is from 3 days ago, and some other people have read it. If you've already heard other YouTubers cover it, then just bear with us for a moment. Some quotes by Brad Garlinghouse. I think it's very clear that XRP is not a security. And then he goes on to say, it's pretty outrageous. Here's somebody who's held XRP, he's talking about Sawstack, for 2 weeks' time, and he's making some claims. Whether or not XRP is a security or not isn't going to be dictated by one lawsuit. And that's something that I wanted to give my take on. Um, the community is fairly split between is XRP a security and is it not. The diehard hodlers, of course, say it's not. Some traders think it is. Uh, Regardless, none of that matters because the courts do not follow common sense. Now, a lot of you think things like glyphosate is causing cancer because a jury decided it caused cancer. The studies don't show that necessarily. So, courts court decisions do not always reflect realities, um, and that's why there's so many appeals processes. Uh, Also, one lawsuit. This is what he's right about here. Whether or not XRP is a security or not isn't going to be dictated by one lawsuit. One lawsuit does not a security make in the U.S. There's definitely more that has to go into it. I think the SEC has to weigh in and decide if it passes the Howey test or something that's called the family resemblance test. There's a few things that have to happen before XRP could be declared a security. So that's why I don't think the outcome of this lawsuit is going to be a major mover of the market. I think it's very clear that XRP is not a security. It exists independently of the company Ripple. If Ripple, the company, shut down tomorrow, the XRP ecosystem would continue to exist. It's an independent open source technology. So, one second, I'm taking a sip of coffee. Unprofessional, I know. Hey, folks, I do this in the morning. Let's have our coffee together. Let's talk about cryptocurrency. And then he goes on to say owning XRP doesn't give you ownership of Ripple equity. And he's right about that. Looking at a vehicle for speculation, as some cryptocurrencies have become, there is an expectation of buying XRP, seeing a rise in the price, and then selling for a profit. This sounds a lot like buying a share of a company's stock, and that's from private equity analyst Anthony Baladon. That's not a Brad Garlinghouse quote. And that's the reason why 90% of you listening to this channel are buying any cryptocurrency. Look, so we're not buying cryptocurrency for the intended purpose, right? You're not buying a bunch of XRP because you want to do a fast cross-border payment. You're speculating on it, meaning you're hoping the price rises. And what we see with a lot of people that do this is the idea is we're going to make a profit, then we're going to cash it out back to fiat, and then, you know, have our wealth sitting there, which is the way that everything is structured right now with the exchanges, but I don't know that it will be in the future. You know, we're looking at it through a very micro lens of we want to make a bunch of money and then get out, or at least sell off and then, you know, pay off all our bills or do whatever we're going to do when Moon, when Lambo, go to the Lambo dealership, buy yourself 19 Lamborghinis, whatever. What a waste of money a Lamborghini is. Oh my God. But um, that may not be the right way to look at it. I understand it's the way we look at it now because you can't pay your mortgage in XRP and you can't pay your credit card bills in XRP. But in the future, that may be a price. That may be a thing, and XRP may be way more valuable than the dollar. So, you know, always what I would do is always, not financial advice again, is leave a little bit on the table. You want to tier your selling and you want to tier your buying. You want to have limit orders on the exchanges, so you're not trying to log into Coinbase during a bull run and then not able to. If you saw in the news yesterday or the day where we had the you know, the little bit of a rally, Coinbase went down. So if you're one of these people that are waiting for it to raise in price and then log in and start trading, start selling, you could easily be left in the dust. And I've said that before because we've seen it happen before. It's certainly not a new thing, and I saw it yesterday. So one of the things I recommend is getting yourself a hardware wallet. I don't care which one. We are a Ledger affiliate here at the Crypto Insider channel, and you can click on the link in the video and look at Ledger Nanos. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. I like the Ledger Nano because I know how to use it, and I like their customer service. I'm sure there are other equally uh, adequate hardware wallets. Then make yourself accounts on multiple exchanges because you will have ownership of your crypto. And if one exchange is down, you can just go to the other one, send your crypto, and sell it. So I'd have at least two. Some people probably have three, but it's a little bit harder in the US because these exchanges have to follow the know your customer requirements. And and so there's a lot of exchanges that while they may service the U.S., they may not service the state that you're in because of some law or some regulation, or they didn't get approval yet from the right group, whatever. Um, so I would definitely look into the exchanges that you do have access to. Try to get accounts set up and go through the verification process so that you have some permissions with the exchange, and then and then look at investing in a hardware wallet. I mean, unless you only have 25 XRP, then don't worry about it. But if you have any serious amount, then definitely definitely consider a hardware wallet. This next article comes from the Daily Hodl. And this is new. I haven't seen any other YouTubers covering this one yet. The article's just from January 15th. Another lawsuit. Ripple hit with patent infringement lawsuit. Crypto startup responds to allegations. North Carolina-based Cooperative Entertainment is suing Ripple for violating a patent filed in September of 2013 and approved in August of 2016. The patent describes a node-based network designed to power peer-to-peer content distribution. The present invention provides systems and methods for P2P dynamic networks and/or subnetworks for file distribution between peers receiving the same content. In particular, any instance of large data file distribution to a recipient peer nodes is considered within the scope of the present invention, including but not limited to video file distribution, game content distribution, large data files and combinations thereof. Any packet or stream of data that is ordered correctly and delivered in a timely way is considered the content for distribution within the P2P dynamic networks and/or subnetworks of the present invention. Ripple filed a motion to dismiss the case last Thursday. Garbage. What I'm going to say is garbage. If that is truly their argument, then they are violating the patents of people that probably filed long before 2013. They're saying they own peer-to-peer file sharing basically in this network, and that they filed a patent in 2013. Well, peer-to-peer file sharing has been around a long, long time, long before 2013. They're basically saying that they own computing. Um, and it's interesting because they're not attacking the XRP asset or talking about securities or investing or anything like that. They're saying that the distribution of files in a peer-to-peer type setting is something that they invented, or they invented a particular way of doing it. Now, I haven't read the patent, and I have not seen the technical documentations or or anything like that. But reading this vague part of the filing here that they put in this article from the Daily Hodl, I have to say this is garbage. You can't say that you invented computing. Uh, that's like AT&T saying they invented phones, or telephone technology. Of course they didn't. They came around much later. So, um, hopefully it's dismissed. Maybe this place is just trying to get their name in the news. I don't know. Um, Maybe they're hoping Ripple say, hey, we don't want to deal with this. Just give us some money and we'll go away. Well, regardless, I think it's another crap lawsuit. Ripple is in this weird space of cryptocurrency where there's a target. You know, there's not a lot. There's a few foundations and things around Stellar, and IBM's working with Stellar a little bit, but Ripple is almost synonymous in people's minds with XRP. Um, so it's a target because it's tied to this cryptocurrency. You don't have the same thing with Bitcoin or Tezos or I mean I'm sure there's been some lawsuits, but Ripple just seems like they're getting pounded with claims from anybody that's ever sat down in front of a computer as filing why they should own XRP or own the technology. And I just don't think, obviously if you were going to uh, file lawsuits against anybody uh, that violated this patent. Uh, Obviously, Satoshi should come out of the closet. I shouldn't say come out of the closet, but come out of hiding. Satoshi should come out of hiding and then sue these people for stealing his idea because he was around, had it going in 2009, and Bitcoin, did have a rudimentary smart contracts feature. So how can these people say that they're, you know, I it's the United States, and if you're listening from the UK, you may understand it, but some other countries you may not. Pretty much, you can sue anybody for anything in the United States, whether it happened or not, whether it occurred or not. You can always get time in front of a court. There's some bureaucrat willing to give it a listen. So uh, it has to go through the proper channels and either get settled or dismissed. I don't think Ripple is in any position to have to settle this case. But we'll see. We'll see what the judges, like we said in the other lawsuit. Just because there's a lawsuit doesn't mean it's valid, and just because there's a lawsuit doesn't mean they will rule the right way or the common sense way. Uh, you know, the judges could be using uh, some principle from old common English law when they decide these things to go the other way, a way that you wouldn't expect. They have their own biases. Maybe they just hate big business or hate anything to do with finance. Maybe the judges themselves can simply have a lack of understanding of the technology, and the people arguing it can have a lack of understanding of the technology and what's happening and what the arguments are. So let's see where it goes. I'm cautiously optimistic on both of these lawsuits, but maybe tomorrow we'll have more news on how it went, and see where it goes. I'm gonna pop up some links on the screen for you to click. This way you can see more videos or subscribe at your leisure. Remember, if you do subscribe, we will give money to charity on your behalf. I thank you for watching and have a great day.